So for anyone who just joined us on the last session, this is going to be a repeat as a pre-warning, just a few admin things to tick off and to introduce ourselves. So hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. And for anyone who joined the last session, as I said, this will be a bit of a recap. So just a few admin points for me to tick off before we begin. The session will be recorded and will be readily available for you after the webinar on our website and other platforms. If you have any questions during the webinar, please put them in the chat and we'll answer them in a Q&A at the end. Any questions which aren't covered will follow up on an email afterwards as well, and they will be attached to the video as frequently asked questions on the site. So firstly, it's lovely to have everyone here with us today. And for those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Renee and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Bamboom Cloud. For anyone who's new here, our aim here at Bamboom Cloud is to help organisations take the very best of Microsoft Cloud to help them to transform and grow. Today's session and the rest of the webinars that we're hosting are based around Dynamics 365 Business Central. Part of my role is to help you to understand and to educate you on what you already have access to within Business Central, along with how we can add extra components to it to benefit your organisation. This is through third-party extensions, which we often refer to as ISV solutions. Today, and as like every other session which we are hosting, is not a deep dive tech session, and we'll aim to keep this in a language which enables you to understand what these products can do for you and benefit your organisation. Today's session will showcase, educate you on, and help you to understand how Continia OCR can speed up your processing through the use of templates for automated data entry. I'm delighted to have Michiel here with me today, who is one of our partners at Continia Software, so I'll pass you over to him to introduce himself and Continia.
Thank you, Renee. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good to see you all came up. You all showed up in big numbers. Excellent. Well, special thanks to Bamboom Cloud for giving us the opportunity to show our solution today. For those of you who have seen the previous webinar on expense management, now we will look at document capture. Document capture, as Renee mentioned, is our solution for scanning, registering, and archiving of your invoices and credit memos. I will first take you through some slides, which Renee will put on screen, right, Renee? Or shall I show it on from my screen?
Yeah, if you don't mind just getting it up on yours, just so you can go through it the pace you'd like to.
No problem, no problem. Let me just. Yeah, there it is. All right. The PowerPoint slides. Nobody likes PowerPoints, me neither. So I'll keep it short and simple. And like I said, I will just give you a short introduction of Continia, what we do, and where our customers are based. And then I'd say I show you a couple of slides to show you the process of document capture. And then we'll jump into Business Central and I'll show you the good stuff. All right. Continia is an ISV, as Renee mentioned, and we as an ISV have over 30 years of experience within the Dynamics ecosystem. We make add-ons to enhance Microsoft Business Central, and our solutions are currently used in over 15,000 licenses worldwide. Actually, we're pretty proud to say. This is a quick overview of where our offices are located. We're a Danish company, and we have our headquarters here up in the north in Aalborg, and that's also in Copenhagen, where we have our development office. Myself and my colleague, we are based in the Netherlands, and from the Netherlands we serve the Netherlands, of course, and also the UK, and Eastern Europe and Portugal. Then we have a couple of colleagues working from our Belgium office to serve Belgium and France. We have an office in Spain, in Germany, and across the ocean in New York, where from where my colleagues serve our North American customers. And recently, we opened up an office in Christchurch, New Zealand, to serve the APAC. Well, this is a map to give you an overview of where our customers are located. As you can see, it's widely spread across the globe. And of course, our marketing department asks us always to put in this slide to show that we have a huge variety of customers where we sell our licenses to. And as you can see, we have like the big companies, the Fortune 500 companies, but also smaller companies in our customer base. Like we always say, as long as you use NAV or Business Central, you can use our software. All right, so today we are going to talk about document capture. Like I said, our solution for scanning, registering, and the archiving of your invoices. Just to show you the document flow, and of course, later on in the demo, I will tell more about this. Here on the left-hand side, we have your documents coming in, either via the post, via email, or in an XML format. These documents come in, and they go to our OCR engine. The OCR engine scans the documents and allows us to process them within your Business Central. There you will register the invoice, and of course you can approve invoices and then finally post the invoices. And as a final part of the demo, I will show you how you can find your invoices back, because document capture also enables you with a digital archive. Yeah. Do I need to go to all these bullets? No, I guess not. These are the benefits that you have when using document capture. But I would say let's jump into Business Central and I'll show you how it works. And we'll take it from there. 1 second. All right. As you can see my screen, I opened up Business Central. And our solution is, works anywhere from the really, really old version of NAV, 3.7, if I'm not mistaken, up to the latest version, the cloud version of Business Central. So this is the document capture role center. And in the role center, we can see a couple of things. On the left-hand side here, we can see how many documents came in, how many invoices came in, and invoices can come in like I showed you in the PowerPoint, in 2 different ways. Either via the post. If you receive an invoice via the post, you can put it on a scanner and send it from the scanner directly into your Business Central. And of course, you receive invoices via email. What document capture does, it monitors the email address you might have for invoicing, and downloads the invoices straight into your Business Central from your email box. If you have multiple companies in your database, no problem for document capture. Document capture can automatically recognize if the document is for company number A or company B. And it does it based on the text that is on the document. We can process PDF files and XML files. So should you receive a Word or an Excel file, then you will need to manually convert this to a PDF file first before it gets picked up by the software. No handwritten text, but I know none of the OCR engines available on the market can do this. That's the information here on the right, on the left-hand side. Then in the middle here and on the right-hand side, you can see purchase approval for invoices and credit memos. With document capture, we can of course approve invoices and credit memos. Later on in this demo, I will get back to this process. So should you have any questions now, please hold them. I first want to show you how do we actually process these invoices. Just before this webinar, I emailed some demo invoices to my demo email address, as you can see over here. And when I press the button import files, the OCR scanner starts scanning the documents and allows us to process them. We can, of course, automate this importing files for you, so you do not have to click it every time, and invoices will then come in all throughout the day. Because it takes some time, I explain you how it works, and now they are imported, and as soon as they are imported, they come into the document journal, and the document journal is the place where your accounts payable team can process these invoices from now on. On the right-hand side here, we can see the original invoice. You can zoom in and zoom out like I'm doing now. If it has multiple pages, you can scroll to multiple pages. On the left-hand side here in the top, we have our to-do list, the invoices that need to be processed. This is where the template comes, and down below you'll find the comments. So how does document capture work? We are going to create a template per vendor. And in this template, you're going to tell the system, how do you want this invoice to be processed? And we can basically process any type of invoice that you have, like cost invoices. We can capture multiple lines of an invoice. We can match invoices against purchase order or purchase receipt lines. We can handle multiple VAT amounts. We can, of course, different currencies or freight charges. Yeah, whatever they throw at you, we can capture. In this demo, I would like to show you 3 types of invoices. We will start off with this simple cost invoice. After that, I will show you an invoice that we are going to match against the purchase order. And then I will show you how we can capture multiple lines on an invoice. Important to know, you set up a template once per vendor. And after this, the invoices will enter the system automatically. Before we are going to create the first template, we can see here on the left that Document Capture recognized the vendors. How did it recognize the vendor? When I pressed import files, the OCR scanner starts scanning the document and it found a VAT number. And with this VAT number, it made a match on the vendor card with Lewis Home Furniture. If there's no VAT number on the invoice, then the system will look further for a company name, an address, a postal code, or I know down below here is a bank account number, all to find the correct vendor for you. Worst case scenario, and Document Capture doesn't find a vendor, then it's good that we are fully integrated into your Business Central. And then from here, you can open the vendor list and then select the correct vendor manually. There we go. It's a bit slow. I'm sorry for that. Must be my internet connection here at home. All right. Now I'm going to press Recognize Fields, and then we start creating the first template. The system thinks for a moment, and then we see a couple of things happening. On the right-hand side here on the invoice, we can see orange and blue bars appearing. In the middle, we can see the template now, and down below, we find some comments. Let me start off in the middle, in the left column field. This is where the master template lies that you get with Document Capture. And this master template contains the most common fields that can be found on an invoice, like invoice number, invoice date, order number, the amounts, of course. However, you can fully adjust this template to your liking without the help of Bamboom, without the help of Continia or a developer. Because we are fully integrated into your ERP system, we have access to all your tables and fields, so we can either extract data from there or put data in there. In the second column, value, you can see that Document Capture already tries to fill in as much information as it can for you. However, the first time we need to check this because sometimes the system will make a mistake. If I select the invoice number like I did now, you can see on the right-hand side that it gets highlighted. And Document Capture will always highlight where it found the value for you. And in this case, we have, of course, a very nice demo invoice. But should you receive an invoice with lots of small characters or like, I don't know, a lot of pages, then this feature comes in very handy. Within the highlighted area, you can see an orange and a blue bar. The orange bar is the header and the blue bar is the value that Document Capture found for you. And that's the way Document Capture tries to fill in all the fields for you. So it doesn't work with coordinates. It really searches for the text, for the word on these invoices. So it also found an invoice date, and it found a due date, and it also validates the due date with your payment terms. If they do not match, it will give you a warning message like the one here in the bottom. And you can also choose for Document Capture always to honor your payment terms because your Business Central is leading, and you can set this up per vendor if you want to. We found contact person. No order number on this first invoice. The currency code, in this case, it's pounds, so it's a local currency within Business Central. Should I receive an invoice in US dollars or euros, then the currency will be shown over here. It has the amounts. And it also validates the amount. So in this case, it will really check, is this 25% of the amount excluding VAT? And are these two combined the same as the amount including VAT? Like I said before, we can handle multiple VAT amounts too. And if it's a vendor with no VAT, it will not look for it, because under the hood, it will look to the vendor posting groups. Then the next field, GL account number. You can see the warning down below here. You must specify GL account number because this is a cost invoice. And again, this is one of the benefits of our solution being integrated into your Business Central. From here, I can easily open up the GL account list, and then I can scroll through it, or like I know this one by memory because I've done this quite some time. I select the correct GL account number. Then the system will ask, do you want to set this as a default for this vendor? If I press no, I will have to fill it in the next time again. And if I press yes, it will remember it for the next invoice of this vendor. And then you can see the warning has disappeared. Then the next field, posting description. We can do several things here. I can type in something manually, or I can combine fields from the templates if I want to. But what I will do now is I will capture the first value of the invoice. With my right-hand mouse button, I will drag like a header around the word project. And with my left-hand mouse button, I will drag a blue bar around the word around this description. And as you can see now, Document Capture captured the posting description, and for the next time, it will do exactly the same. Then the last field, invoice or credit memo. Document Capture will be able to automatically recognize if the document is an invoice or a credit memo. Should you receive a double invoice, then this will be blocked and will not go into your system. So now I'm finished setting up the first template. I can do this in 30 seconds, and I'm 100% sure that after a couple of days training of Bamboom, you will be able to do so as well. It's really simple. All right, so now I press register, and then it will become a registered invoice within Business Central. And we have made a modification to the invoice screen as well. As you can see, you can also see the invoice here on the right-hand side, and all the details have been filled in over here. So for demo, I will now send it for approval. And yeah, like I said, later on this demo, I will set up, or I will show you how to set up the different approval flows. Now, to show you that Document Capture works, I have another Lewis Home Furniture invoice. I press Recognize Fields. And what did we do? We set the GL account number, that's remembered, and the posting description has been captured like we set in the previous invoice. So now I can press register and then send it for approval as well. Yeah, this was a simple cost invoice, but I told you we can do more, of course. With Document Capture, we can also match purchase invoices against purchase orders or purchase receipt lines. And we can do that in 3 different ways. We can either do that on a total amount level. Then Document Capture will check the order and the order goods for, let's say, £1,000. If the invoice is £1,000, then it will match and it will go through. The only downside of this is that you do not know if you ordered a Lenovo laptop or a Dell laptop as an example. So that's why we have developed method number 2. And with method number 2, you can match on line item level. So there we can check. I hope you can see this all. Did we receive 250 mountings for £12.50, 15 top panels for £77, etc. And this is making your match very accurate. And this also allows you to do partial matching. And we can set up tolerances per supplier if you want. And if the match is 100%, then you can even skip the approval. The third method is manual matching. Why do you want to do manual matching if you can do it fully automated? Sometimes a vendor forgets to put the order number on the invoice. In this case, Document Capture will not guess, but you have to help the system a bit by putting in the right order number, and then the matching continues automatically. Of course, I will show you. I start with pressing recognize fields. And I know that document capture has captured every details correct over here. So captured the order number, as you can see, and the order number is important for us to make the match. And if I then press match lines, then you will get the matching screen that you get with document capture. Yeah, it will show the original invoice on the right-hand side again. It will show you the order lines of, in this case, Coolwood Technologies. So basically the orders that are in the system. And if I press filter on order number, then it will show us the purchase receipt lines or the order that we are going to match today. As we can see over here, it has all the lines that we need to match. It has all the amounts are filled in. So yeah, if I now press perform match, then we can see, and of course, this has to look smooth in this webinar. It matches 100%. However, in real life, this will not always happen. In case there's a difference, you can spot the difference over here in this column. And also the line where the difference is will not be made bold. So you can easily yeah, spot the difference. What did I forget? Yeah, freight charges. You can match them separately, because a lot of times you will not know if they charge you 100 or 110 pounds. So you can do this separately. And like I said, we can do partial matching, or we can even skip the approval if the match is 100%, like in this case. We can set up tolerances per supplier. And yeah, what the system will also do, if I go one screen back, you can here see in the comments that it's fully matched with the purchase receipt. So yeah, it will always give the accounts payable team full information and overview of where the invoices are within the system. And this one is okay now. So I can press register. And like the previous invoices, I will also send this invoice for approval. Oh, one click too far. Then the last type of invoice that I want to show you is an invoice with multiple lines. As I said, well, we can capture multiple lines on an invoice. Document capture is very good in capturing lines. In this case, we have 3 lines, not that impressive, but should it be 50 or 500, it will just continue until it doesn't find anymore. Of course, I will show you by pressing recognize fields again. And first we have to check the template. And now I can see that document capture has made a small mistake over here. It captured the invoice date where it should have captured the invoice number. We correct this once. How do we do this? By dragging an orange bar around the word invoice with my right hand mouse button, and then with my left hand mouse button, a blue bar around the invoice number. And quickly run through the rest of the information. And I can see that's okay. So then we go to the document card, and the document card is the place where we can capture these lines on the invoice. Like you're used to, the image of the original invoice on the right hand side. And we have a tab here, lines, with all different columns: number, description, quantity, unit cost. And this is where we can capture the lines. And also this template, you can fully adjust to your liking. Okay, to capture the lines, I will set my mouse here at the number, and I will drag an orange bar around item number. I will do the same for the description. Also for the quantity and for the unit cost. Yes. There's no discount on this invoice, but we do have a line amount. There you go. And if I now press recognize fields, ta-da, you can see it captured all the information here of the invoice. Yeah, for this demo, let's assume there's no purchase order to match against. We can now code it the way we want it. So we can say the iPad goes to GL account number A, and the mouse goes to GL account number B. And we can also, of course, translate into item numbers, resources, fixed assets, or charge items, Should you, if you use dimensions like cost centers, you can also add your dimensions over here. Again, you can basically fully code this to your liking. I can say the iPad goes to GL account number 8320. I will translate this to an item number. And the headset, I will do the same also, but a different item number. There we go. And yeah, I'm just playing around now a bit, but just to show you what's possible in the system. So now we can register this invoice. And then the invoice screen will open again. And here we can see the information that we captured and the translations that we just did. So I will post it, I will send this one for approval. Not post it, it's later. Wrong button. And then to show you that what we just did is a one-time exercise, I would like to show you one more Electronics Limited invoice. I press recognize fields. I quickly check, okay, we changed the invoice number in the previous invoice. We captured it correctly now. And if I then press register, then we can see that the two lines that are on this invoice are captured here. And the system remembered that the iPad went to 8330 GL account and the Apple mouse went to item number 1000. So I will do the same for this invoice and send it for approval. This is what I wanted to show you about template making. Template making is, as I hope I have showed you, is not difficult. But it's one of the most important parts of document capture. And the nice thing is that you can do this in your test environment and export it to your live environment once you're ready, so you can easily start working with it. If you have multiple companies in the database, you can easily share the templates between the multiple companies. And yeah, like I promised you, let's move on to the approval process. The approval process can happen in two different places, either in Business Central itself or in our optional web approval portal. What is the difference between these two? Functionality-wise, they are both the same, but within the web approval portal, you will be able to approve on your mobile device. And approvers who approve in the web approval portal only need a Microsoft team member license. How can we approve? Well, let me tell you. We can approve in three different ways. We can either approve based on an approver and a limit. As an example, within Continia, I can approve invoices up to £1,000. If the invoice is below £1,000, it only has to go to me for approval. If it exceeds that amount, then it will go to my supervisor. My supervisor has a higher limit. He can approve up to £2,500 as an example, etc. So yeah, it will just continue based on the hierarchy you will set up. You can also set fixed approvers per vendor. So as an example, within Continia, I am responsible for the car lease invoices. Car lease invoices only go to me, but invoices for office supplies will need approval from me as well as my colleague. The third method is approval based on dimensions. Like I mentioned before, if you use cost centers, then you can approve based on these cost centers. Cost center A will be approved by me. Cost center B will need approval from me and my supervisor, as an example. Approvers receive an email that they have something to approve. And while I open up the web approval portal, yeah, notification emails can set up. And you can set these notification emails to whatever is working for your organization. Can be done either one per invoice, or you can also set one per day or one per every 2 days or something like that. Whatever works for you. Besides that, we can also set reminder emails. So let's say after 2 days, 2 days after the first notification email, you can send the first reminder if nothing happens. And then If still nothing happens, you can send a second reminder a day after that with CC to his manager, for instance, to get him started. Okay, so me as an approver, I receive the email and I click on the link in the email. And in this case, the web approval portal opened. I get an overview of the invoices that I need to approve. But before I approve my invoices, I can check in the archive, what did I approve last week? If you have multiple companies to approve in, then you can toggle between these multiple companies over here. And here, in case you're going on vacation or some other kind of leave, you can set your out of office. And in case I forget to set my out of office as an approver, the accounts payable team is also can also set the out of office. So yeah, the approval process will not be interfered. Let me open up an invoice. Just like we've seen in Business Central, it also will show us an image of the invoice here on the right-hand side. You can download it from here as well. You can resize it. It also has a comment section. So I can say this is okay. And all comments will be logged with the invoice, of course, also in Business Central. You can see here that I commented is okay at this time on this date. On the left-hand side, we have some information of the invoice. And then here you can see the flow that it will take through the organization. And you can also set per approver what he or she can and what he or she can't change. I'm Richard Lam now. If I want to change an item number, I will get an error message because I don't have the permissions to change item numbers. But if I want to change the GL account number, I can do that. But it's been narrowed down to the GL account numbers within the 8,000 range. So you can narrow it down per approver. Then here on the top left, we can approve. We can also reject the invoice. If I reject the invoice, then I will have to put in a comment because otherwise the AP team doesn't know what's going on. We can forward the invoice as well in multiple ways. So I can first approve and then forward to a colleague. I can forward without approval in case I think I'm not the right person to approve this invoice. I can also forward with a question to a colleague and have it sent back, and then I can approve or I can reject, of course. I can put it on hold if I want to. Maybe I'm awaiting a credit memo. I can put the invoice on hold and put it in the comments. And the nice thing is that the AP team always has a full overview of where the invoices are within the system. They can see if the invoice is put on hold and by who, and also with the reason in the comments. So should they receive a question from a vendor, they can easily check where their invoice is and immediately answer the vendor's question. For now, I will approve this invoice, and I will do the same with all the invoices. I will empty my to-do list. And of course, you can also approve within Business Central. It's more or less the same. Let me go to approval entries. Here you have an invoice on the right-hand side. This is the to-do list. We can approve, reject with a comment, forward in multiple ways. We can put it on hold if there's a query. From here, I can make changes to the document if I have the permissions. I can put in some comments, or I can set my out of office. So I will approve these invoices for now. And then after the approval, they come into the final stage, the release bin, and released invoices can be posted, either one by one in a batch or fully automatic in a job queue. And I will post these in a batch for now. And after the posting process, document capture will basically stop, and then your normal process will take over again. Now we've done the whole process. Maybe a quick recap. I have 5 more minutes left. Your invoices come in via email or via the post. Document capture downloads them straight into your system, where they will be imported automatically. That document capture will put the template over them that you've created. It will check all the tick boxes and then it will be sent to the approver automatically. The approver receives an email that they have something to approve. And as soon as the invoice has been approved, it will come back to you in the release bin. And like I just did, released invoices can be posted, or yeah, you can even automate that. Then one more thing before we go to an end is, yeah, how do we find documents back within the system? You will get a digital archive with document capture. And with the document search button over here, you can easily find your documents back. Let's say we bought an iPad, but I don't know where and I don't know when. I type in the word iPad over here, and then every invoice with the word iPad on it will appear. And then from here, I can open up the invoice and send it to whoever needs it. So basically, the whole invoice is fully indexed. So it doesn't have to be one of those words in the orange or blue bars we saw earlier. It can be any word on the invoice. So it can be an invoice number. Let's say your accountant asks for several invoice numbers. You can type in all these invoice numbers over here, and then it will show all the invoices, and you can put them in an email and send them to them. But that's not the only way we can find documents back. Because we are fully integrated into your Business Central, we can find back the documents anywhere it touches something, like the vendor card, the posted documents, of course, also the VAT entries. And from the GL account, let me go to the chart of accounts. And we used GL account number 8330. Click on the balance. And if I scroll down, we will have the invoices here. If I press navigate, then we can see we have added a document capture file line over here. And if I press on the one behind it, then we will also have the invoice here. So you can find the invoice back actually all throughout Business Central. This is what I wanted to show you about document capture today. Document capture was created in 2013. And since then, it has become one of the biggest add-ons for Business Central. Yeah, luckily we are still growing as a company, thanks to Bam Boom. Yeah, I hope you liked it. Should you have any questions, let's have a look at the chat box right now.
Yeah, there's quite a few questions in the chat box. If you're happy to run through some of them.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
One sec. What documents formats does the system accepts? PDF. Yeah, so yeah, we can process PDF files and XML files. This is a question about what document formats the system accepts. So first of all, PDF files, but also XML. What if the document is in another language from English? English, that's no problem, of course. We can do multiple languages. It's just a setup in the system. There's a lot of questions. How many times? How many times do you need to map the fields before the OCR learns the supplier invoice template? Can it have conflicting data sets? If the ones you only have to set the template once, and then if there should there be a minor change to the template, it doesn't matter because it really searches for the words on the invoices. So there shouldn't be a problem. But on the other hand, it's really easy to adjust the template. So yeah, it's fairly easy. All right, next question. How about assigning dimensions to line items? GL account isn't enough detail. Yeah, I hope, I think I did mention that the use of dimensions is an option, of course. So not only GL account number, not only item numbers, but you can also add your dimensions like cost centers or projects, for instance. So no problem. Is the system intelligent in terms of currency? Yes, it recognizes multiple currencies and it maps it with your vendor card as well. And it also copes with different date formats. Yes, no problem. Can you only match on quantity or can you match on value too? Yeah, that's a setup. So you can match on quantity. Martijn, do you want to say something?
Yeah, you can match on quantity, unit cost, and more. So it's not only quantity, and you can set this up per vendor if you like.
That was about my answer.
Okay.
I can hear the birds, Martin. Where are you?
I'm on holiday, but I thought I wanted to join this webinar because it was so well marketed on LinkedIn and it was very nice. So I thought, let's join.
Oh, that's nice. Nice to have you. Thanks.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Can you match against purchase order if purchase order number isn't on the invoice? Yes, that's possible. Like I said, you will just have to help the system a bit by putting in the right order number. So you can do that manual if you want to. If it isn't on the invoice, you can just say in the template, this is order number 1003, and then it will match against order number 1003 in your system. Is the approval based on line dimensions or header level dimension? That's a good question.
Both. We can do both.
We can do both. Okay.
Yes. Depending on if you set it up as a cost invoice, then you only have things on the header level, then we can approve on that. And if you got it on multiple lines, we will do that as well. So you can set this up per vendor, per template, no problem. All right.
And can it be auto escalated? It's also one for you, I guess, Martin. Sorry. It's good that you're here, man.
Escalated in what sense? So what we can do, we can set up automatic reminder emails with the approval. So we can say within your organization, we can approve it in 3 days. If not, it will be another reminder will be sent plus a CC to the supervisor. So that is our escalation form. And then the supervisor can react. So yes.
And then the next question is, do you need an automated email to be set up, like example, invoices at yourcompanyname.co for invoices to be sent to? Yes, we advise to have a special email address for invoices, so Document Capture can monitor this email address. And then we also advise to have remittance advices, as an example, sent to a different email box. Can you reject any invoices back to the supplier if they have not quoted PO? Yes, of course, you can reject invoices from the system and then have it handled over again by the supplier. And that was it.
Yeah, that's everything. So I just want to finish up by saying thank you so much for presenting with us today. It's great to have you with us. We will be sending a follow-up email out after the webinar just to see how our clients have gotten on with it. So any opinions from everyone is obviously super useful to us. We will be in touch with everyone after the session so that you'll be able to let us know on that. And if you have enjoyed what you've seen today and you are an existing client with us, please feel free to get in touch with your account manager here. And any new clients that we've had on here, we have got contact details on screen now, which you should all be able to see. And my name's Renee if you need anyone to refer to. Just another reminder that the session is recorded, so we'll be available on the website afterwards. If you kind of want to review anything that we've been over or share with a colleague, you will have free ability to do that. Next week, we've got Clever Dynamics with us, so we'll hope to see you then as well.
Thank you, Renee. Thanks
very much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.